I cannot pin the comments. Hey, Fluffy. Hello. Very well, and you? Maybe because it's Sunday. It's Sunday. The Sunday blues. Is it Sunday today? Yes. just that there's not much going on. I think that people are like in general, but for me, about K-pop, K-dramas. Actually, if people that are more into it, if you guys don't let me know what's up, or if you guys don't share your favorites with me, like I'm like, there's not much interesting thing to do, you know. Um, Not to do. I think that, and there's no need for something like big or scandalous to happen. It's just that maybe there's something about um I think that what I noticed that I started to block a lot of people on TikTok because there's a lot of like commentaries, like a lot of people's opinions online. And actually, when it comes to the artist or a group, they're doing okay. They're doing well. Like there's nothing going on except that sometimes fans or people with an opinion, I guess, they want to create something out of something that does not exist. So I wonder if people do this because actually things have been a bit like boring or repetitive. um I don't know how long we are going to have to continue doing this because, like, I think that at some point, some people will have to make certain choices. Like, if you don't like what you are receiving or watching, just don't watch it. But people are very, like, unsatisfied, dissatisfied, it seems. Yeah, not much going on. Yeah, this is what I decided to do about these couples, like real couples in real life of celebrities, because I'm like, there's nothing going on, like and I'm also tired of the ships and just people speculating on something that if it hasn't happened, it's not going to happen. Like or they hide it very well, or I think that I never been, and this everyone knows that I never been a supporter of ships. At least I don't want to do it with my cards because it sort of it supports like delusional behavior in people, and I don't want that. I don't want to be that, because um I think that there's certain things that we need to remember is that these people are acting or this is what they do for a living. So, sometimes it's just being practical like that, And if they say that they're in a relationship, great. But until there's no real evidence, like I'm like, you're wasting your time. Mm, I've been feeling like this for the past week or so. Oh, I see Jun Jun come back, which was pretty good. So people are creating drama since there's nothing. Yeah, I think that's the vibe that I'm getting. That I'm also like, blocking a lot of people because I'm like, what is the point of me listening to these people ranting? Like, and I think that this is not just about K-pop. I noticed this about um certain topics, people talking about things that had been said before and things that are obvious. And they create like this content based on this. And I'm like, you're not telling me anything new. And I heard this before, or you said this before. So I'm like, I need to. I don't know what is it about TikTok. I'm like, maybe it's like already feeling the saturation of the app, but I think that people are not creative anymore. I think that people are running out of creation, and it sort of feels like you are repeating yourself, or you are this someone said it, like I'm done listening to you talking about this. Hey, Draculaura. I avoid social media in general precisely to avoid this kind of drama. Really no time for this kind of energy. Sucking nonsense, yes. I only like aesthetic and soothing videos. Yes, me too. I started to curate my For You page, and I noticed that the ones that I decide to keep is the ones that are aesthetic, probably of someone doing some kind of chore or activity outdoors and in a very peaceful manner, and maybe people working. I love to watch videos of people working. But I don't know. I find it very soothing. It suits me. So yeah. Um, no talking. No talking because I don't know if it's that people talk too much. I've always been myself. A very communicative person. Like I love to talk. I love to hear other people's perspectives. I love communication. But one thing that I notice, especially a woman of my age and a woman with my experiences in relationships, there's a lot of content of people, women specifically, being disappointed in men, not just in my country, like in Argentina, everywhere. And I notice these YouTubers from the US or Europe, there's always someone like, oh, this happened to me. I went on a date and this happened. And I had a boyfriend or I had a husband and he cheated on me with my best friend. And I'm like this and this. And then we have the Kendra, was it Kendra situation, that woman that fell in love with her therapist. And And I'm like, that delusional woman is a representation of us right now, because why would we give her the views? She made like 30 videos and plus, and also she went on a live stream talking about nonsense, and we kept listening. I didn't keep listening to her, but someone did, because everyone knows what she said, and there's no need for you to go through the 30 videos. Like, just with the first one, you know that there's something wrong. But I guess that it's a mix of people wanting to go viral, and it's also like I'm different. Like what happened to me, like listen to me. What happened to me, it's unbelievable. Like give me like I want to write my own book about my history. And it's like, yeah, you told it. It was great. Um, Actually, there's a woman of color that I do follow, that she is somehow the one that breaks down these long story time videos. I don't remember her name now, but she is like amazing. And she somehow summers, she does like a single TikTok where she tells you, like, if it's like I don't know, a 12 parts video TikTok of someone telling you something that happened to them, she somehow summarizes it. And I think that she's amazing. And she's very serious and polite and concise about this. This is why I love her. Um, but also about relationships. I'm personally, like, I look at this because I also seen it from my clients in session. Not everyone, but I seen it from young girls, that they have all the theory. Like, you listen to them and they know what they deserve, they know what they like, they know what they will accept from a man or a partner. They know everything. Like, they see the red flags, they see, like, they know everything. Theoretically, I would say. But they never were in a relationship. Like, and it's coming to a point where I'm like, one thing is to say it when you have the knowledge. Another thing, very differently, is when you are in the relationship. In there, you forget all. about what you know, what you read, what your friends told you. You forget about everything because it's you and that person. So you forget about every single thing that you read, heard, someone told you, because it's not about that. It's not like that, you know. So I'm a bit like, you know, not worried, but it's a bit, you know, I think that it is going to come to a point where I'm like, you know, are these are these people ever going to be in an intimate relationship? You know, like, are you at least like, and even if it goes wrong, you know, but at least you experience this, and you need to experience this yourself. You cannot base your experience or your, you know, um, your romantic life on someone else's story or experience. You have to go, you have to allow yourself to go in that encounter with that person, and yes, open up, and yes, be vulnerable, and yes, you know, trying to, you know, be likable, you know, like, you know, like, you have to learn to do that. You have to learn to do that. It doesn't matter the techniques that you think that you have. You have to go in the field and you have to do this. You have to experience connection. And I'm like, you know, if we stay like this, you know, with these people already having all this information, like, you know, what, like, you know, when love and attraction and the feeling and the connection happens to you, you forget about everything, you know. So that's something that you have to experience, you know. And I'm a bit worried. I'm like, you know, I think that we will experience a lot of single people in the future, because I am single, because it's my choice, and also because, you know, I also went through my failures, not failures, because I learned a lot, but I also like recognized that I wasn't invested in myself. I was losing myself in relationships, and I wanted to change that, you know. So yes, maybe, you know, by doing that, I'm somehow like self-isolating. But, you know, that I can work, but at least I have, you know, like a memory of what it's like to be in a relationship, and what it's like to feel how I felt for those people when they were um, important to me, you know, and how I reacted to their presence. Um, but now I don't know if the new generations are going to be able to have this, women and men, because there's like a lot of barriers. I think that with the thing with boundaries, it went very, it went like very extreme. It went to the extremes. It went to the extremes. It's like we prefer to fantasize with a K-pop idol or with an actor, and just, you know, read fanfics instead of, you know, going to meet someone. So there must be, you know, um yeah, something that we have to work on. But I'm like, you know, at least I, you know, when you have experiences in relationships, you know, somehow you're like, well, you know, I went through this, I guess that wasn't good, but, you know, I survived, I went through this. But about these young people never even went going into that and talking about it as if they know. I'm like, okay. Mm, yes, basically touching grass is the new motto. I try not to imagine the worst. Some things are very much nowadays between, yes, much better nowadays between women and men. Yeah. Mm. It's social media also. Yes. Yeah, because I appreciate so much. Like, there's a lot of people that talk about, trauma, and went through really, really awful experiences with men or with partners, divorcing, and all those things, that definitely it changes you as a person. So they have a very valid, a very valid message, and I think that it needs to be heard. I think that, to talk to someone about it, or maybe to listen to someone that went through this, it can be a great tool. But I think that, you know, this is what the algorithm does. Once you start to listen to a certain topic, or someone telling you, oh, this happened to me in my marriage, betrayal, and cheating, and I lost everything, and then you start listening to more, and you read the comments, and you read about other people that they say, oh, I went through the same, oh, this happened to me. And so I think that is sort of, it loses its point, because it puts you, if you're a very sensitive person, it puts you in a very, like, paranoid kind of, like, oh my God, that could happen to me. Like, I read mostly in the comments, thank God I'm single. Like, thank God I'm choosing the bear, or thank God I'm, and I'm like, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Um, and people, I think that people get confused a lot. I see the word like grooming all the time, and I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. Stop using that word, because it's losing its meaning completely. Stop. You are not a therapist, so shut up. um, and manipulation and narcissist, and it seems like, everyone is a narcissist but you. So yeah, like I told you at the beginning, everyone in social media is like, oh, I'm different. Like, yeah, I'm not like the other persons. I'm collecting information, and I'm here to save you. Um, and um, I think that, when we go into a relationship, whether it's romantic or not, it could be friendship also, and family dynamics also, there's vulnerability. So there's a potential of you being lied to, of you, of people keeping things from you, of people trying to use you and take advantage of you and the love that you feel for them. But it's not everything like, oh my God, they are the narcissistic, they are the bad person, and I am the victim. Like, um, I in this case, I've always noticed this, and I'm like, in my relationships, I always had this dynamic, or I had at some point a dynamic where I was like, you are trying to manipulate me. And I would get very much on the defensive. But also looking back at this, I also was manipulative myself. I also would manipulate myself. Um, so sometimes, in this dynamic where, things get like this, is like back and forth. It's like all the time. It's just that from your point of view, you are the one, being damaged. You don't see. Um, so not everything is manipulation. I think that sometimes people can be awful. Yes, people can hurt you. Yes, can disappoint you. Yes, but it's not like they are planning, like, oh my God, they had this, they were the evil. And I'm like, no, they just, you just were in a dynamic where there's vulnerability, and there's going to be games, there's going to be games. There's going to be lies, disillusions, um, and um, and the thing that I can do for myself, and maybe when I talk to my clients about this, about, when you feel that the other person hurt you, the thing that you can do for that is to, just, yeah, accept it and just, separate from that person, or, have like zero contact with that person that you believe that hurt you. But, to keep bringing up, that person, that subject, like, oh my God, they did this to me, like, just don't talk about it. Just let it go. Just, talk about it, and then focus on something else. Focus on recovering, focus on you. And mostly, in my, after breaking up, I would always focus on myself. I would be like, why did I allow that to happen? What was going on with me when that happened? Why couldn't I see this? And also forgiving myself, because being in a relationship doesn't make you a know-it-all. And I'm a tarot reader, and I'm very empathic, I'm very like observant, but probably there's going to be, certain signs that you don't want to see. And that doesn't have to do anything with you being a psychic and being like, oh, I should have known. No, sometimes we miss it. We don't see it. We're fools. We made a mistake. We trusted the wrong people. Yeah. And it's about accepting that. I made a wrong decision. I chosen the bad person. I chosen a bad friend. That person wasn't my friend. And I think that at the end is, okay, what are you going to do with this that happened to you? Like, give it a meaning. But don't go around, like using it as a flag of like, oh, look what happened to me. Oh my God. Oh, that person was awful. That person, you have no idea what it was like living with them. And it's like, to each person have their own karma. They know what they done. So you stay calm, you stay in your center, you go back to yourself, because I would often go back to myself and be like, okay, what was going on with me? What is going on with me? But yeah, because if you keep looking at the other person, you're giving them attention. They are living rent free here. Oh, wait. Yes, the moment someone talks in absolute, it's like not 9 out of 10 is BS, or at least, yes. Yeah, I think that sometimes it's really hard to be compassionate to ourselves, because there's this sort of like label that people put on us, like, oh, you're so smart. I can't believe that happened to you. Like, oh, you used to be so intelligent. Like, I cannot believe you mess up like that. Oh, or you used to be so happy. Like, what happened? Like, and those questionings are things that, if you are very vulnerable, if you are feeling sensitive, and if you don't know, and if you are full of emotions and you don't know how to express them, you are going to feel guilty. You're going to feel guilty. This is why I'm like, for me, my past relationships were not a failure. I learned a lot. Um, um, I learned that I'm also manipulative. I learned that I also have my tricks, um, and that I can hurt someone if I want to, especially a loved one. I can say something mean if I'm in a bad mood. I can be inflexible. So those things are things that I have to take accountability. Like, okay, what is going on, with you, that you get like this, and that somehow, when you enter a dynamic with someone that you are, it's like dancing, you are used to that, They talk back and you respond, or they say something to you and you respond. And it's like, you are feeding of each other. You are feeding of each other. You are all the time like bickering, bickering, bickering. And you're like, well, we are like this. Yeah, we're always arguing. Oh, well, it's normal. No, it's not normal. Somehow, I used to be very confrontative in relationships, and I would always want to have like the last word, the final word. And now that I'm older, I'm realizing that that I just want to feel safe, being myself, and probably not talking that much, not arguing for stupid things, just being in each other's presence and being happy. Um, and and just have this intimacy where there's not like a lot of misunderstandings, like they said, I said, oh my god, like the receipts, I have to have the receipts, because they did this the other day, and I'm done, playing the detective. Thank God, as a tarot reader, I don't read for my partners. I don't pull cards. I think that the thing that I can do the most, if they like astrology or if they believe astrology, I can maybe, do their birth chart if they want to. But for me, I don't read for them. I don't pull cards, um, because I believe that I need to see it with my own eyes. I need to see the person that I have in front of me. I need to experience, how it feels to be in their presence, and I have to be very present with them, and enjoy their company as well, and not so much like bringing cards and being speculative about like, oh, is he lying to me, is there someone else? No, no, no. This is why there's certain subjects and certain ships or duos in K-pop that I don't do, because I don't want, people to get paranoid about, you know things that are not confirmed. And just because you make an edit of these people breathing in the same room together, is not evidence. So I don't want to support that. I refuse to support that, because it can damage the person. Yeah, self-reflection is so important. Yes. Hmm. But yeah, guys, so at the end at the end it's all about, yeah, you looking out for yourself. Like, you don't forget about how you feel, how that person makes you feel. Stay present. Like, don't evade, or don't just fantasize about what they can. Oh my god, the potential. Also, I have this issue also, and I must say, as someone that had learned astrology from a very young age, and I had been always interested in astrology, birth charts, and in everything. But as a 40-year-old woman, and I'm going to be, in a few months, I'm going to be 41. Stop with the astrology. And this is something that I've seen on TikTok as well. Like, I think that, in going back to this, like, do you feel good when you're with them? Do you like them? Do they make you feel special? Do you have fun? Are you attracted to them? Do you feel comfortable? That's all you need to know. Stop with the sun signs, with the moon signs, with the risings. Oh my God, because he is this rising. Oh my God, because he is a sun in Pisces. Oh my God, because, it doesn't matter. Just experience the relationship. Experience, live it. And then at the end, if you want, and if you're curious, just talk about signs and aspects and everything that you want. Because I must tell you, from my personal experience, I always had the best synastries, I had the best compatibilities ever in my placements with people. And the relationship was awful. So, at least initially, just, stop obsessing or labeling people of like, oh, because you're an Aquarius, I wouldn't date you. Because I used to think like that when I was young. But also because, I grew up like seeing a lot of not Scorpio, Aquarius men in my life, a lot of Aquarius cousins. I had a lot of Aquarius cousins, like, you know, and even like schoolmates, a lot of Aquarius, Aquarius and Geminis. So a lot of air signs. So I know they can be annoying, and I would be like, for me, they are no fun. I am not attracted, but I wouldn't be like, oh, they are evil because they are like, no, there's much more. There's much more. Yes. Yes. I mean, I love looking at astrology, but really, you don't even need, if you do the work in the end. Yes. I feel like if you resort to astrology, you may subconsciously already know it might not work out or you're stressed and paranoid. It's just that people get paranoid. It's like, oh my God, you know. Plus, people will still date who they want, no matter what the industry is. Half of the people aren't even in astrology. Yeah, but I seen, that also I started blocking people because there's astrologers left and right. I don't know where they come from, but they look like they are like 15, like they are 19, they are 20, and they're talking about relationships. And I'm like, wow, do you know about relationships? Like everything is astrology now. It's like what they call pop astrology. So it's too simple. Every time they talk about the Scorpio moon, I'm scratching my head because I'm like, what you're saying is so repetitive. It's so repetitive. Like not everyone with the Scorpio moon is like, oh, they have trauma from their childhood. It's not like that. We don't have like it's not like, oh, you have issues with your mother. Okay. Semester also doesn't mean much. You have to look at natal charts to see individual issues that yeah, I mean like synastry, composite, whatever that I don't remember exactly how it's called in English. But yeah, it's the one where they put the card with the other card, and I know all the yeah. Um and for me it's like, yeah, this beautiful, oof, yeah, this is like, oh, this is like, marriage material. Oh, because he falls in your seventh house. Oh my God, oh my God. Worst relationship ever. um, yeah, most astrologers online are also way too biased. It's really annoying and hard to find objectivity. Yeah, the only like, I don't know, Fluffy, if you ever do like a TikTok account or if you ever like create content, for in a social media, let me know. I will follow you because the only one that I love, the feedback is you. I mean, I love the way you express it, and you seem very sincere about this. You seem that someone that knows, but you're also very passionate about this. So, if you ever create content, please let me know. I will follow you. Or I ask you about things, but I don't about social media. I recover um, my old Instagram account, the one that had like 600 followers, I guess I had. That it was a mix of, small clips of what I do here, and then there were like family pictures. It was a mix. That's why I somehow disconnected from that, and then I couldn't find the password, so I couldn't get it back. And now I found it. Now in Scorpio season, I found it, so it's live again. That account. I believe it's Moonchild Tarot. Okay, I think that's the user. I feel like people struggle to accept that relationships can fail like almost as good. Yeah, Dracula. I think that's so that's so like it is for me, because I notice people that of my age, we I don't know if we truly believe like relationships were supposed to last like our parents, our parents' relationships, that they would last a lot of years. Um, but I think that we went into that like, oh my God, like if you have children with this man, it's game over. It's going to be him until the end of your days. Something like this, just very um like if you had a child with that man, it's like it's over. Even if you try to like, have a, I still like, I think that for us to think about, especially millennials, for us to think about what dating was like, I think that you need to watch MTV's Teen Mom. You have to watch MTV's Teen Mom. I remember that well, I think that they were a bit younger than me, but we were close because I remember I was a teenager when that show was airing on MTV, and I was so scared. Like Teen Mom definitely like scared the hell out of me because I didn't want to be a teen mom, and they had a lot of drama, with the father of the babies. They were children basically. So, and I think that them, I think that whether there was a pregnancy or a child or not, there was this like, we women, we would sort of go through a sort of break, like we would break inside if we had a fight with our boyfriends of back then, um, or someone that we were dating. It felt very dramatic, and there was like a lot of obsession. Maybe this is why, because we are the Pluto in a Scorpio generation, mostly all millennials. So there's something just very tragic and dark, a lot of fear, a lot of people going crazy, with relationships, and like, I cannot let you go. If it's not you, I don't want someone else. Something like this, very very intense. So I be looking back also at dating around that age. I felt like that person was going to be that person because I didn't know anything else. So there was like, oh, that guy is going to be your husband eventually, and maybe we were a bit lost in other aspects. We didn't know much about ourselves and what we wanted. And I was like stuck. And I remember I would look at my first boyfriend. I would be like, I'm going to end up with you. Like, I said that I was like I was like 19 and I was already so depressed. I was like, oh, with you? And then, of course, going to date older guys so I could feel like, oh, this is a better match for me. No, worst decision. So I don't know what was going on back then. But yeah, there was a lot of fear, a lot of attachment, just awful, awful. Mm. I don't know. I associate Pluto and Scorpio with like true crime and the rise of psychology being taken more seriously and all that, more so than relationships. Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Here in my country, there was a lot of drama about, relationships, like high school boyfriends. Like we were intense from the minute, we were intense, just as soon as we started liking someone, there was girls fighting, boys fighting, revenge, a lot of anger, a lot of secrecy also. Thank God the internet wasn't, the internet was slowly getting in there, but we didn't have social media. Because if we had social media, oh, it would have been another dangerous tool for us to have. Because we would get obsessed just with any random guy that you're like, why do you want him? Like, he's not even that interesting. Um, but there was like a lot of secret admirers. I had a lot of secret admirers, um, and it was so creepy because everyone knew, but I didn't know, and I felt like they were stalking me, and I couldn't prove it. So I felt very like, you know, uh, defenseless, I guess. Like I didn't like that. That's why, then I started dating like older guys, because I was like, I want a man that is not that like secretive. I want someone that is very straightforward, that is like, I like you, let's do this. And guys my age, they used to be just very secretive, like just tell me already, like, do you like me or not, or um I remember I had an issue also with a friend that, I don't know if we were really friends, but she used to be my friend, and then she started dating this guy that she really was chasing. She loved this guy, and then this guy somehow confessed out of nowhere that he actually was interested in me, not her. And she became like, against me. She was like, oh, because you did something to him, you seduced him, you talked to him, you talked to him behind my backs because you want him for yourself. And I'm like, I don't want that guy. So just crazy times, just crazy times. I don't know, maybe it's because it's Latin America. But girls would go crazy, crazy. I remember, once I finished high school and was able to, get my first job and just start more going into being an adult, finally I set myself free from the drama in the groups, the feeling of like, oh, someone is betraying anyone. I don't know. It felt like really like people that say that they were your friends, they weren't your friends. At least for me, it felt like it was a trap all the time, and there was a lot of immaturity, a lot of speculation, people just speculating about you and what your intentions were, but never saying it to your face. Hidden enemies, like just crazy, 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 crazy. I don't know, maybe they are, but I don't know. I felt like I don't know. I felt it very intense. I felt like, now I understand, why sometimes, there's something about women sometimes being afraid of being seen, or being afraid of standing out, or taking up space, in positions of power, or maybe, in places, because, somehow all the secrecy, or the women around them that is like, they team up against you, or they, start rumors about you. Like, I think that when you don't feel safe, in your environment, or you are used to being, maybe it's not even a group of friends, it could be your own family, sisters, like other women in your family, just somehow setting you up for failure. um that's why I've noticed that when I changed my circumstances, or when I got out of certain circles where there was a lot of drama, and I would focus on myself, the better I would do. Or, I mean, the more free I would feel to be myself. But if you stay in those sort of like circles, where they are like, oh, because I know you, you're my friend for forever, and I know you, and people can change, people can transform, people can be better. People can want different things also. This is why I'm like, nothing that somehow request of me to be like, signing up to a cult, almost like nothing like this. I don't like the feeling of being restricted like that, of my identity being restricted. Like, oh yeah, we know, this is your place, or we know your profile, your personality is this, so you stick in this group. And like, no, just let me be myself. Just let me be myself. Like, I can be different things. I can also change. I can surprise you. And I think that when you learn that adaptability, when you learn to be comfortable with the idea of like, let's change this, let's change this dynamic, let's change this. And you see how people are generally happy for you, and they are like, oh, this that you're doing is so fun. I think that that's when you're like, wow, there's honesty, there's you see the sincerity in the response. And I think that you shouldn't stay in circles where you feel like their approval, it comes with conditions. It's like, oh yeah, I approve of you as long as you stay in my group and as long as you keep supporting me. As no, 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 no. You can go and just be yourself. Choose what makes you happy. I'm not holding you back. I'm not that kind of person. Mm, yes. Mm-hmm. I remember when I graduated, I blocked everyone from my grade who gave me negative vibes because I didn't want people like that to watch what I post. Yeah, and that's also valid. Yes, I'm done with this kind of drama between women. Like for me, it's high school stuff. Too petty for adulthood. Yeah, but women translate that to corporations as well. I seen it. I seen it. I participated in a lot of like conflict resolution meetings, and I seen it. I seen it. Yeah, it's definitely they started, and they have a strong. There's always someone in a group that has like a hold tight um, of the others, you know, and it takes one of them to be like, I don't want this anymore. I think that this is not fair. Um, and it's very brave for someone to speak up, because when you are in that culture and it's your job and you don't want to lose it, um, there's a lot of things. And also, sometimes the leaders or the bosses, sometimes they approve of that. For them it's beneficial that certain people don't get along. It's like, well, let's see. Sometimes they also attribute to the drama. But yeah, we were teaching actually leaders to take responsibility for their teams. And if you notice something unusual, and if you notice that one of them is not happy or there's something wrong, just do something. Don't be like, oh well, you guys have to work it out. No, you have to get involved as well. It doesn't have to be personal, but there has to be a way where they can do something to make it better. Mm. Oh, especially competition over men, like go away, go away, not interested. Sometimes everything is about the men, and I don't know why. It feels so uncomfortable. Okay, guys, I'm going to start. Sorry for the ranting, but I believe it was necessary because I felt very I'm feeling a bit like I'm getting bored, and I'm getting like also like I'm like eliminating. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to read for this. I don't, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like this. So I don't know how this is going to impact my own content or my own channel. I think that probably it would be nice for me to do like, a community post where if you guys want to participate or if you read it, to leave it. And if you guys want to contribute, maybe if you guys have ideas or sort of feedback for me about what can I do differently next year, in 2026, how can I, improve my content or maybe take it to another level. And I think that I cannot get everyone, because I know that there's people that they leave comments about what they want me to read on, but they are not part of the community. I notice. So I wouldn't call it like, I also have to be selective about, who I listen to, because I'm not going to listen to someone that is not. I mean, their criticism is not, it's not like of use to me. I'm talking about improvement here. I'm not talking about like being, oh, because I don't read for your bias, then I'm a bad tarot reader and I'm a bad person and I'm, no, no. Um, so But I think that I will do that because I want to change things. I want to change things. I want to do things more that talk about how I do things and how I want to do them and give them my twist and my identity instead of just doing what the other tarot readers are doing, that is talking about the popular groups, and it's like, oh, this member and the other member, and it's like, you know, I also want to give the artists, the room for them to evolve in their own projects. Probably 2026 is going to be busy for a lot of them. But also there's a lot of drama, a lot of rumors, a lot of personal things about some of them. So yeah, I will have to somehow find a way. Mm, yes. Very Scorpio season. Let go of what isn't needed anymore to rise like a phoenix. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Fluffy. Or phoenix in English. Yeah, because no, no. I also want to have fun. I think that to have fun is necessary. I want you guys to have fun as well with my content. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to start. I pinned in the comment the first, I believe I pinned in the comment because it doesn't let me to pull the whole list because it's a lot of names. So I believe I was able to mention the first four couples. I have more. So yes. Then I guess I'm going to delete this and continue with um, the other ones that I have. I'm leaving you this so you, because sometimes my pronunciation is not the best with names. So I sometimes I mention people and you guys are like, who? So the four the four of pentacles. See, this is not what we have to do in a Scorpio season. We cannot hold on tight to things that are not working. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start with the first couple of Park Shin Hye and Choi Tae-hoon. Park Shin Hye and Choi Tae-hoon. A lot of coldness in this couple. A lot of communication, I guess. Communication, a lot of swords. From her part, we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Queen of Swords. Very communicative. I guess she's the one that somehow commands him to do things. She's like, okay, we are going to do things like this. You're going to say this, and then I'm going to say this, and oh my. Okay, and in the case of him, yeah, Knight of Swords and the Temperance. He is the one that somehow is trying to, stay with the balance, I guess. Yeah, we have the obstacle. So I wonder if there's like an obstacle in the relationship, if there's something that isn't like in the middle, just like we say, we see here, this rose in here in the middle, like it seems like there's an obstacle in their connection, maybe something that doesn't entirely go away. So it feels like it bothers them. It bothers them. Um, and I see her just very, yeah, she's the one in charge. She's the one that tells him, like, this is what you're going to do. We're going to do the things like this. You're going to do what I say. And the Ace of Swords is her being very clear and firm with him. She's very honest with him. She's like, she probably is very like, um I think that for her, she demands a lot of transparency from him, and she's like, in order for us to keep advancing in this connection, you have to be honest with me, or you have to let me know everything, or you have to do this for me, or you have to express yourself more, or you have to let me know of things before you do them. So I see her just very much like being the one that is in control in the connection, and she probably has a lot of requests for him. She's like, we're going to do this, and then this, and then this, and this. So it feels like very, um it's very I mean, at least the good thing is that there's no lies. Things are clear. I think that there's something about her wanting to keep things being very transparent, being very very clear, very transparent, very just no lies, no hiding, no and yeah, and in his case, he's like, he responds very quickly to her demands. The Knight of Swords, he's someone that he's like ready to defend her, ready to defend the connection. We have the Temperance, so somehow he's also like, okay, I will make this better, I will do better. I think that he's very much like worried, or he's very much invested in her, in calming her down. There's something about wanting her to be healthy, to be well, to maybe there could be some kind of healing, maybe something happened in the past that he's like, I have to, take the responsibility for this, or I have to do this. But he's so ready to do whatever she says. And I think that he does this because there's something about him wanting to keep the peace. The Temperance is like, this is a relationship that I appreciate, or this is a relationship that I cherish. So, I'm going to be a defender of my relationship, or I want her to be happy. There's something about him wanting to be happy, wanting to make her happy, and just avoid, that she gets like somehow stressed, or, there's something about comments, about maybe people talk online about them, or they want her to talk more about them, about their connection. Um, I think that, yeah, with the obstacle, definitely there's something that sits between the two of them, that it can make things uncomfortable here and there. Like, I think that they definitely are ready to advance in their connection. I think that I don't see here like, oh, they want to break up or no. But there's a bit of like, okay, if you want to stay with me, there's rules, or we organize ourselves like this, and we are going to make this work. It feels very like, I would say, I don't feel it romantic, like, but from his part, I can sort of see that he cares for her. He's like, I want her to be happy with me, or I will do anything for her to be happy with me. So he's responsive towards her. He's like, whatever she wants of me, she's going to get it. So I think that's very nice in a connection, that they are on the same page, and that he's so, actively, taking charge. Um, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue with Lee Bo Young, and Jisung. Lee Bo Young and Jisung. Lee Bo Young and Jisung. Okay. From, I guess this is the woman, Lee Bo Young is the woman. We have the page of wands, and we have the Hierophant. That I got the Hierophant in reverse, so I'm going to leave it like this in reverse. And from his part, we have the Fool, and we have the Four of Cups. And then the connection, it says, love yourself. Jisung, he looks like older than you. Ah. How old are they? They seem very immature. In the connection, they seem very immature. Like, not in a bad way, not in a bad way. It is more like, and also the card of love yourself. I think that there's something about them acting like amateurs in this connection. I wonder if they don't act like a serious relationship. Like, I think that they don't act like grown adults. There's something about them just being very teenage like in their behavior, and it shows in their connection. It shows from her part, the page of wands, and we have, the Hierophant. It came in reverse. So for me, I'm like, she's the passionate one. I think that she's the one that is like, I have an idea, let's do this. She's the impulsive one, or she's the one that has like this strong idea, or she's the one that initiates, activities maybe for them to do. But also the Hierophant in reverse. Like, are they married? Because the Hierophant in reverse is giving me like, I don't believe in marriage, or I don't believe in rules in general, or I don't believe in commitment. So her mentality can be just very, outgoing, just very playful, with a lot of initiative. I think that she's the doer in the connection, or she's the one that starts, start something. She probably is very active herself. She's like, oh, let's do this, or let's sign up for this. I would say it feels like as if they are like best friends that decided to date, or best friends that decide to be in a relationship together. It feels like this. It feels like it's fun, but it's not like that serious. It's not like that, like, it's fun. Let's be fun together. I want to have fun in the connection. It's like, I don't want you to be all lovey-dovey with me. I just want us to be buddies. I want us to be best friends. I want us to do crazy things together. Yeah, and from his part, the fool, the Four of Cups, he's also very unexpected. He's definitely giving me artist vibe. Like, he probably is a bit like a fool. He's a bit like, with all respect. He probably is a bit clumsy, or he is just, everything is a joke for him. And he's a wild soul. He's a free spirit. He's also someone that doesn't, um, he doesn't plan for the future. There's something about him jumping into projects or things and be like, oh, well, this seems fun. And this is how he goes in life. Um, the the Four of Cups, I think that there's something about him maybe needing something different in the connection. I think that he's a bit disconnected in the connection. Um, it's just that he doesn't express himself very well. Maybe it's like a personal crisis of his, maybe I think that he wants to start over. Maybe it's in his career or in a new project. He wants to somehow turn around things, and maybe, there's something about him lacking motivation, him not being that connected in the relationship. I think that he can have his moments, with the fool. There's a lot of like unpredictability. He's also very unpredictable. He's like very um it seems like he waits, and when you're like, okay, yeah, what do you want? Or what is it that you want from me? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's a bit like this, yeah, I think that he's probably thinking that he wants to change or start something in his life, like a new project, or maybe he needs inspiration. He probably on his own, there's something about him personally feeling bored. Like, oh my God, I'm not doing something productive, or I feel like I'm not achieving something, and I'm a bit like all over the place. And I need, he's not a grounding person. He's not grounded at all. And in her case, she probably is like doing things for herself, having fun, she's keeping herself busy. But I also, she's very funny as well. But there's something that I'm like, are they okay? Like, it just feels like two friends dating. Or I don't know if they're married them. Um, yeah, because they kind of love yourself. See, there's something about them not loving themselves so much. So the cards is like, um, just like the usual. In order for you to love the other person, you have to love yourself first. And there's something in this connection where I feel like they are very disconnected from what is it that they want in this connection. They are not asking to each other like, okay, what do you want of me? What do you expect of me? What do you want me, to fulfill in this connection for you? I think that they are more like, well, we have fun together. Yeah, when we're together, it's so funny, and we get along. There's something just very simplistic and not romantic about this. And somehow the cards is like, this happens because you guys don't love yourselves. These are two people that probably they don't love themselves that much. So it's like maybe the idea of being together, it just came up because someone brought it up. Like, oh, you guys look good together, so you should be in a relationship. And they took it. And they took it. But they don't take it from um, a place um, of like, I know my value. I think that there's a bit of um, I don't. It's not about them deserving better and going to find someone else. It's more like, you have to love yourself more. I think that they are very like, each of them. They are like, yeah, when we're separated, I do this and I'm happy, and you do this and you're happy, and you go, and we get along and everything is cool. But there's like something missing in the middle. Like they don't love themselves, and I think that it shows in here. I don't see a breakup. I don't think that is going to affect, but there's something that is missing. There's something like essential. Like they are all over the place. And they are distracting each other from like, okay, I guess I will go and do this because, yeah, everyone does this. So yeah, you go and you also, try to figure it out. Yeah, I guess you go. Yeah, you know, um, it also feels like they are very free. They are very free to do and say what they want. And there's no one here like ruling and being like, no, 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 you have to ask me. No, there's like there's equality. but it feels very, like, I would say, um, just, how can I say this? It not unofficial, but it feels like informal. You know, oh, they have two kids. Oh my, maybe it's the kids, but yeah, just there's something about them being stuck in an age. I feel them like teenagers. It doesn't matter how old they are. It feels like they're stuck in their teenage years, and this is how they connect. Like buddies, like friends. Oh yeah, you're so cool. Yeah, you go. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but the cards are like, love yourselves more. Like, there's something missing in there. There's something missing. Maybe they are focusing a lot on the children, and they are forgetting about themselves, and they are lost. Okay, I'm going to continue with Gummy and Jo Jung Suk. Gummy and Jo Jung Suk. I believe this is an artist, a woman, Gummy. Gummy and Jo Jung Suk. Gummy, Jo Jung Suk. I like it. This is better. This is better. This looks a bit much more like, better. What is going on with these Korean couples? Like, why the oracle is like, it's like everything is cool, but the feelings, where are the feelings? Like, it seems like, well, if it's a marriage, it sort of makes sense, but from her part, from Gami's part, we have the King of Wands and we have the Three of Pentacles. So again, she is the one that's probably, she's the one that takes initiative. She is like the boss of the house if they live together. The Six of Cups for him, for Lee Jun Suk. No, not Lee Jun Suk, Jo Jun Suk. Six of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles for him. Very hardworking, the both of them. I see a lot of willingness to work and build a better future. They are very hardworking. It's just that the oracle, the oracle says no in love. The oracle says no in love. So it feels very like, yeah, they're not in love. Like maybe there's other things, there's other feelings. There's other things that keep them together, but it's not necessarily like I'm in love with you. No, it can be another things, another things that they have in common, another things that that keep them together. I think that there's something about them just putting a lot of work in the relationship as well. But from her part, from Gami, she is, this kind of one. She's very passionate, very fiery. She's like, she has a strong personality, a strong presence herself, a bit bossy. She could be a bit bossy, but at the same time, all this fire and all this energy of hers, it translates to, being a better partner. I think that she's very interested in building something with him, and she's very collaborative. She's very collaborative. It can be like a bit practical. Like, oh my God, it seems like you guys are in the same team. Like you guys work as if you guys are working together. But I think that it makes her feel safe. To somehow have an objective, a clear objective of what they want to achieve together. And she has like this great personality, and she's like an artist herself. She has a strong aura. She has like, very dominating kind of, personality. But, at the end in a relationship, she's like, I give it all, I I somehow like it's not about lowering her standards, but it's like she calms herself down, for the benefit of the connection. She's like, I want to collaborate with him. I want to give him what he needs. Or maybe she feels like she also has to take, responsibility sometimes. She has to be a leader sometimes in the connection. I don't want to say like she has to be the man in the connection, but since she got the king of wands, it can be that she looks a bit much more like proactive and bossy, and just like, like very just very much empower herself, like, okay, we are going to do this, and this is for us, and this is for our future. Investing, I believe they're investing money in something, or they have like a business together. So it makes sense that for her it's all about, it's all about results, and it's all about working together. So she feels like a manager, like the one that manages. Yeah, and his part, he saw her working as well. The Six of Cups, and we have, the Eight of Pentacles. He's a very hardworking man. It's just that, again, with the Six of Pentacles, he is also a bit, in comparison to her, he is a bit childish also himself. He's someone that he probably also is stuck in the past. I wonder if this has to do with some of these celebrities being famous at a very young age. So somehow they stayed in that time where they were famous, and I think that for him it feels like he got caught up in the past. And it seems like it's really hard for him to advance. Maybe there was a period in his life where he's like, this is where I made it, this is the moment that I made it, and he frozen in time like this. Or probably there's something about when he met her, he frozen in that. Somehow he always wants to go back to when they first met, or when they felt the attraction, or maybe he felt like it was love at first sight, and he's like, I want to recreate this moment for her. And I think that he definitely works very hard in the connection. I think that he wants to make sure also that she has, probably it has to do with financial, stability, for him to keep working, for him to keep being active, and also, giving her a good life, or helping if they have businesses together, helping in the economy. I see him that he is also a dreamer. He's someone that he's like, oh, remember the times, remember. He probably also feels like, maybe in comparison to the past, some things have changed. And just like I said, knowing love, maybe, routine, and maybe, certain responsibilities have made the relationship feel colder, or feel like, oh, now we talk about is business, or, money, and connections and work. And we don't talk about how we feel, like the romance is somehow is fading away. And I think that he knows this, and he's like, I want to keep, you know I want to keep the romance alive. And he's like working on this. I see that he's like, okay, what do I do to seduce her? Or what did she like? What did she find attractive of me back then? So I want to recreate this. I want to surprise her. I want to entertain her. I want her to smile at me, or I want to, I don't know. I think that there's something about him being like, I want to win you over again, like the first time, and he's working on this. He's working on this. He notices that maybe the initial spark is a bit gone. And the relationship feels too formal. This is why the card knowing love, like, where is the initial passion, or where is, these romantic feelings. But probably it also has to do with her, that she feels very responsible for the connection, and she feels very pressured to be the one in charge. I think that also there's something about her maybe being a bit, um, too much in her masculine energy, like her just being like, let me do this, or you better do what I say, or I know better. So it kind of feels like, how do you soften someone like this? Like, she can be intimidating. So how do you go, to make it more like romantic with her? You have to play, like him. You have to be playful, or you have to become sweeter or cuter, like a child. Because how do you melt a person like this? She's definitely very determined to make the relationship work, to make everything about them work. She wants a successful connection with him. But knowing love is like, where is the romanticism here? Where is it? Mm. Oh, she's an Aries. Okay. I'm going to continue with Lee Byun-hun, the actor Lee Byun-hun, and Lee Min-hun. Lee Byun-hun and Lee Min-hun. Lee Byun-hun and Lee Min-hun. It's okay, yes. From his part, Lee Byun-hun, we have the Justice and we have the Ten of Cups. And from her part, Lee Min-hun, we have Six of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. And then from the Oracle, we have the card of Useful Inexperience. Useful Inexperience. About useful inexperience, is one of them younger than the other? Is there like an age difference between this? I believe it's an actor, Lee Byun-hun and Lee Min-jung. Is there like because with useful inexperience, I think that there's like something about one of them, entering this connection, being a bit like clueless about relationships. I think that I mean, it can be like a whole process. Of course, not everyone has to, be experienced for, but maybe, there's a bit of disbalance. Probably there's a bit of, like age difference or something like this, because from his part, we have the Justice and we have the Ten of Cups. So I see him very balanced, from his part, literally, the Justice, he's like, he's very committed to this connection. He's very committed to make it work. Because I don't know if being a family man or being married, it gives him a status, but he's like, for my family, I will be fair. I will keep things organized. I will. Why do I want to say I want to behave? Has this man done something in the past? Because this card is giving me like, no. Now I'm a change man. I'm a man of the family. I'm a family man. My family is my identity. And no one is getting in the way of this. No one. Actually, I'm suing anyone that wants to get in the way of my happiness or my happy ending. So for him, I think that it feels like a serious matter that, I'm going to defend my family, or I'm going to defend my wife, or I'm going to defend, like it seems like he gets very on the defensive about this relationship, but probably, with the justice, probably it has to do that, maybe being a family man, it sort of gives him, a bit of a status, um, or people believe him more because he's married or something like this. He feels like very protective. And from her part, she also got, because it's interesting, because he had the justice and she got the Six of Pentacles. That also there's like a scale here, see? So it feels about balance, retribution, like a fair contract, or I'm sort of receiving, I'm receiving, what I deserve. I think that, we are okay, we are on the same page. But we also have the Eight of Swords. So I think that for her, it's like, this is why I'm like, there's equality, but there's also different perceptions of maybe what is fairness. There's something about fairness and balance in here, that one of them is like, I'm super fair. I'm always, the one that if you give me this, I will give you the same. I have all my things in order. Even like contracts, or a contract or papers, there's something about it, but it feels like rigid. It feels like, the law is on my side, or something like this. It feels very like this. And from her part, she's like, yes, we do have, like, maybe there's a contract that benefits her, or does he pay her, or does he give her money, or something like this? So she's like, well, he had been, behaving, or he had been, doing very well. He had been very generous with me. Somehow I feel okay. In a material sense. But then the Eight of Swords is like, she's not letting go of something. She's not letting go of maybe a past situation, or something happened between them, and she's like not being able to mentally let it go. I think that is not something that happened. I think that for her, she's like a bit stuck mentally. Maybe she has everything, like when it comes to security, financial security, economical security. Maybe also there's, like an agreement between them, like, okay, I'm going to make you happy, I'm going to give you what you need. But she still feels like there's something that is haunting her. She feels a bit like suffocated. She feels a bit like suffocated by the connection, maybe. Or maybe, because, the Six of Cups and Six of Pentacles and the Justice, maybe he's a bit rigid. He is like too rigid for her. Like there's something about order. Like, no, we have to do things like this in this connection. And I think that for her, she could feel sometimes like she wants to get out, or she wants, like, she's stuck. It's like, I think that there's something about her feeling nervous, like, or feeling, agitated mentally. Like, I want to scream, I want to run and scream like a crazy person, but I want to set myself free from this that I'm feeling about the connection. And maybe he's like not allowing her to express herself. Like there's something that she needs to get out of her chest. There's something that she needs to tell him, that is like, yeah, you've been nice to me, you give me what I need, you take care of me, you giving me this sort of, happy family community, whatever this is. And she's, from a part, she's like, I'm super grateful to you, but then there's moments where I want to scream, I want to shout out at you. I want to, I don't know, she just wants to let it out, and he probably doesn't let her do that, because he wants to, remain this sort of like happy family. Like we are, we are a happy family and everything is in order here. The house is in order. Like, please don't disorganize my house. Something like this. And she probably wants to disorganize something, move something out of place. I don't know, do something random, just being chaotic. She wants this. But I think that in this connection, she's not allowed. She's like restricted mentally. I think that it's a perception of hers. It's not that she's going to do something. Um, but yeah. Yeah, and then, youthful inexperience, somehow, maybe she wishes, to be this, to be inexperienced again, or maybe to experience life like this, like somehow, being a bit like childlike. It's like, I want to run free, and I want to be wild, and I want to be unexpected, and I want to connect with my inner child, and I want to laugh, and I want to be authentic, and I want to be wild. And with you, I feel like, you don't give me that. You don't let me do that. Like, it seems like they have to, act like very proper, and like there's a lot of protocols and there's a lot of rules, and she's like, I want to break all the rules. Um so yeah, she probably wants to, um she wants to do things differently. I think that there's something about her just wanting things to be more fun, maybe. But yeah. Mm. Oh. Okay, I'm going to continue with Taeyang of Big Bang and his wife Min Hyo Rin. Taeyang of Big Bang and Min Hyo Rin. I like it. They do complement each other. They are very different, but they do complement each other. There's something about their elements, literally, like somehow what the other one doesn't have, the other one has. Okay, from Taeyang's part, we have the chariot and we have the king of swords. And from Min Hyo Rin, we have the seven of cups and we have the hierophant. And then we have the card of the oracle. It says complementaris solidarity. Complementaris solidarity. Complementary solidarity. So definitely they help each other out in their different energies. They are, I wouldn't say like they're opposites of each other, but maybe what, if one possesses a sort of element, maybe it's literally in their birth chart, the other one has it. So it feels like, yes, like they complement each other very well. Yeah, I think that from Theon, I think that yeah, the chariot and the king of swords. I think that there's something about him being the one in charge. And when I say in charge, I don't mean it like he bosses her around. No, but with the chariot, I think that he is the one that keeps the relationship moving. And I think that maybe he was the one that even initiated everything, because the chariot is like, someone that is like, I decided that I wanted her, or that I wanted her to be my wife, or that I wanted to fall in love with her, or that she was the woman of my life. This is a man that very emotionally, the chariot is like a Cancer card, is a Cancer major arcana. So there's something about him being very open and vocal and communicative about, like the way I advance in this connection is because I never had doubts. It always been her, always, always. So somehow it's like, yeah, I push this connection and I advanced because I decided that she was the person for me. I decided this. Probably he was the one that had it, never had a doubt. The King of Swords is also someone that is very straightforward. It's someone that is all or nothing. Is very communicative. It's also like very honest. It's like, yeah, I want you. You're going to be like the future mother of my children. And I think that he's like, I advance towards her with my open heart, with my vulnerabilities, and with my emotional needs, and with my past, and with everything. I carried everything on my shoulders, but I've always been honest to her. I've always been like, with an open heart, I need you in my life. You are the woman for me. So somehow I think that he's like, yeah, this connection advanced because, I pursued her, or I was determined to have her in my life. I think that he never doubts. He never, even after all these years, I don't know how long they had been married, uh, but it seems like he's always like very, straightforward about how he feels about her. Or maybe when he talks about her, he's like, yeah, she's the woman for me. Yeah, it is. It is like this, and it's going to continue like this. I'm sure. I'm sure she's the one, and I have no doubts. I have no doubts. So I keep advancing. I keep going to her. You know, yeah. And from her part, the Seven of Cups and the Hierophant. I kind of feel like, could it be that she didn't want to get married, or that she didn't believe in marriage, or she never thought that marriage was going to be something in her life? Because I see her just very elusive. I don't know what sign she is, but it seems like, yeah, she probably in love and romance, she always had like different options, or she always had people confess their love to her, or she always had suitors, she always had, people interested in her, she always had like these different, even it could be like famous people, like all the eyes are on her, so she's like, she always been popular like this. But I think that she never thought that being in a committed relationship like this, very serious, very straightforward, with all the rules and regulations, she never thought that that was for her. There's something about the Seven of Cups of her, maybe until this day, she has no idea what she like. She's like, I cannot believe I'm married. I'm a very married woman, or I cannot believe like, this is my life now. Because yeah, she could it be that she has a bit of Pisces somewhere, because it seems like she is a bit on the clouds. It seems like she is a bit like everything is cool, but she is a bit elusive, and some, maybe this is part of her charm, and this is part of, why people pursue her so much, because they want to, you know they are like, she's like maybe a lot of people's fantasies, or she was a lot of people's dream girl. So it's like, they always see me like a fantasy, they never see the real me. And I think that there's a bit of confusion in her. So I wonder, is she okay? Like, I wonder what is going on in her energy, because it feels like, yeah, with the marriage, I think that the marriage, and also, the Hierophant is a Taurus card, and I know that Taeyang is a Taurus man. So somehow I think that yeah, maybe being married to him, it somehow gave shape and form to her reality, because I think that even her routine, or maybe her life before him, it was kind of messy. It was kind of like disorganized. Um So I can kind of see that this marriage had helped her to get out of her imagination and somehow go and build something in real life, or commit to something. Be committed, follow the rules. Like don't evade yourself. Don't fantasize. Stay in the reality. Stay in the reality, because she is a dreamer. She is like a bit on the clouds. But yeah, with complementary solidarity. Yes, definitely they complement each other, and probably they give each other what the other don't have. So it's actually it is like two opposites attracting. Yes, definitely. But she could be peculiar in her way. It's giving me Pisces. It's giving me like Neptune. Like maybe she's like a sort of siren that somehow also people like project a lot on her. Because she seems like she's not present. So maybe are like speculating about her, like what is going on with her. But it makes sense because he is her rock. He is her rock. She maybe is peculiar like this. Her character is like this. She is not someone that you can figure out right away. She needs stability, or the other part, his complementary, like the complementary part, needs to do the grounding because she's not able to do it. Oh, wait, guys, I'm going to take this moment to change my mind. Change it. And what I was going to do, I have to change this. Wait, guys, I'm going to change the names. I hope that you can see. I want to. I don't know if I can do this. Is it? Yeah, it's like this. Mm. Oh, thank you, Fluffy. Thank you. Yeah, she's giving me hippies vibes. I don't know why I wanted to say this, but I don't know. Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to continue with the next uh, couple. It was recommended to me. I don't know about them. I think that someone said that they just got married. This couple, they were dating for 10 years, I believe, in secret, something like this. Someone sent me an email. I believe they were in a secret relationship for 10 years, and now they're married. They just got married. It's the actress Kim Ga Eun and the actor Joo Sunwoo. Kim Ga Eun and Joo Sunwoo. Kim Ga Eun and Joo Sunwoo. Kim Ga Eun and Yoo Sunwoo. Mm. 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 Mhm. Okay. From the part of this actress, I believe it's an actress, Kim Ga Eun, we have the Empress and we have the Eight of Swords. Why doesn't she feel pretty? Like, I'm already annoyed. Like, why doesn't she feel like the Empress? She's somehow blocking her Empress vibe. We have the Justice for him and the King of Cups. Is he a Libra? And we have, for them, we have the card of the spring. Could it be that something is going to happen in the spring for them? The spring card. And also look, do you see the water? Like, I wonder maybe they want to, have children. And because I do have the Empress for her, see, the Empress and the Eight of Swords. So why do I feel like she has the potential of being this amazing Empress? It's just that maybe mentally she feels like if they just got married, maybe it was about her limited beliefs about marriage, or her not being chosen or wanted. Maybe there's something, I don't know how old they are, but maybe there's something, about them being like, or her being like, it's too late for me, or something like this. I don't know, a bit of ageism or something like this. But I think that she's completely wrong, definitely, because the Empress is like, she has a lot of potential. She's beautiful. She's capable of a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of receiving. She's very beautiful. She probably is very like, ladylike. She has a lot of potential for being this Empress. It's just that she has to get rid of these maybe fears that she has of not being chosen by him, or maybe feeling like, oh, I'm not that attractive to him. Maybe her comparing herself with other women and be like, I'm not that pretty as the other women. What about if he likes another person, or if he finds the other woman more attractive than me, but I cannot change who I am. I look like this. I don't know what is it, but there's insecurity, definitely. There's insecurity. But she's an Empress, like she has it. It's just that maybe there's something about her comparing herself to other people, or could it be that she's like, he is too handsome for me, or there's something that there's like this weird she doesn't feel pretty enough. She doesn't feel beautiful enough. She doesn't feel abundant enough for him. So I wonder if someone had installed that belief in her, if someone had said something to her, like very cruel, actually, like, oh, you're not that pretty, or you have to, I don't know, how they are about maybe weight, oh, you have to lose weight or something like this. Very superficial, but I think that in her femininity, it somehow is blocking her ability to, become this more Venusian person that she has the potential. And from his part, we have the Justice and we have the King of Cups. So he's definitely in love with her. This is the first, I don't know, is he an actor also? I don't know if he's an actor, but he is in love with her, definitely. I think that this is the first men's side that I see that he's in love. He's in love. If he married her for love. He officialized this because he's in love with her, definitely. He's also very sweet to her, very fair to her. Maybe, this sort of is a contrast, her insecurities. I think that him with the Justice, he's like, I had proven to you, or I'm proving it now, that it's always been you. I've always been in love with you, or I always have my eyes on you. He feels very emotional about her. Does he have like a Venus in Cancer or something like this? I don't know about these people, but well, there's something just very emotional about him, about him just feeling very sweet towards her, and also being fair. I think that there's moments where maybe it's because of her lack of confidence, that there's moments where he had to be somehow a bit tough to her, and being just very concise with her. I mean, like, these are the evidence, or this is how I feel about you. I like this and this and this and this of you. And somehow him, like, somehow creating like a PowerPoint, like a presentation of the reasons why I love you. Because maybe there's something about her sabotaging herself in this connection. And I think that it has nothing to do with him. It's more about her beliefs. Maybe someone said something to her that somehow it makes her feel like she doesn't fully, see that she's beautiful. She doesn't see it. She has like the potential, definitely. She probably is doing well financially also. I don't know, maybe it's about new opportunities to work or have her business. She has potential. It's just that maybe there's something about her not feeling good enough. And in this case, there he comes, very like trying to make everything official, make everything perfect for her. And he's like, I told you I love you. My heart is open for you. Like, I don't know what else do you want. But yeah. And yeah, the spring, I think that something is coming for them in the spring. I don't know what I don't know. I am in the spring myself. So I don't know, in South Korea, maybe if it's like winter time, I believe, or it's going to be winter, where in the springtime, there's going to be something new, something beautiful for this couple. Maybe it could be a baby. It could be a baby. Because, maybe there's something about motherhood also that is scaring her. Maybe her thinking that she cannot. But this man loves her, definitely. If she would ask me, I would be like, don't doubt. He loves you. She is, she's Sun, Moon, Sag, Venus, and 36. He's Gemini, Moon, Leo, Venus, and 40. Thank you, Fluffy. And yes, he's an actor. I know him. He was in Scarlet Heart here with IU. Oh, thank you, Fluffy. Thank you. Thank you for the astrological data. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I don't know. I know someone recommended me them, but I don't know. And the name, when I saw Kim Ga Eun, I don't know why I thought about the other actress, the one of Goblin. I don't know if their name sounds similar, but I don't know. Okay. I'm going to keep advancing to I'm going to advance to Son Ye Jin and Kim Woo Bin. Son Ye Jin and Kim Woo Bin. Son Ye Jin and Kim Woo Bin. Waiting. Okay, from Son Ye Jin, we have the Temperance and we have the Ace of Swords. So this is another woman, a partner that somehow it's very clear in her communication. to him, she's like always like opening up the conversation and being like, I want to let you know that I'm happy, that we are okay, that, because yeah, from his part, from Kim Woo Bin, we have um, the 10 of cups and we have the 5 of pentacles. So it could be about him actually like him being afraid of the connection, him being and we have the card of waiting for the oracle. So um, I think that he worries about his family. He worries about his family. I wonder if he's been a bit pessimistic, or I think that there's something maybe about money, about him, being wanting to be like a provider or wanting to, just give her more, probably. Um, and and I think that um, he feels like he is not doing what he has to do. Like he's not providing maybe that much. He wants to provide more. He feels like there's money lacking. Like there's um, I don't know. This is why, from her part, she's like, I got this. I got this. Don't worry. Maybe it's financial. Maybe there's something about her being like, I got this. You don't have to worry. You can, um, maybe, he can contribute emotionally to the family, maybe taking care of the children. But from her part, with the temperance and the ace of swords, somehow her reassuring him and being like, we are together in this. Everything is going to be okay. We are going to be okay. We just have to adapt. And actually, she's like, I'm happy with you. We are good together. So, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just that, yeah, maybe she has to be like the one that maybe she's going to have more protagonism. Maybe she's going to have more work, or she's going to be busier, or she's going to be, have more success, something like this, and they have to adjust to their routine. And maybe there's something about him just feeling a bit insecure about this. It's like, yeah, I love my family, but I think that I should be the provider, or I should be the one that gives more to this family, because and he feels a bit like insecure about not being able to do more. But probably they sort of have like they cannot be both of them working. So I think that it sort of makes sense, that she's like, don't worry, I got this, but yeah, with the kind of waiting, I think that things are very calm in the relationship. It's like it feels peaceful. It's just like, that sometimes when this is why the keyword waiting, sometimes when things are um, are okay, when things are like everything is uneventful, like everything is okay in a relationship, and then one of you starts like doubting, like maybe everything is too perfect, or maybe we are doing too well, like what if something happens, and I think that maybe there's something about them being very relaxed together or being okay together, that he feels like he has this fear, like what if I cannot pay for this, or what if I don't have this, what if we run out of this. I don't know, I think that it has to do with money, definitely. But I think that their connection is very well. There's no doubt, except that maybe one of them feels like, I should be earning more money, or I should be putting more money. And I feel like I'm sort of weak, or I was expecting to save this amount of money or earn this amount of money, and I didn't get it at the end. But in her part, I feel her like stepping in and being like, yeah, I got this. I will do this. Don't worry. I will cover for this. We are a team. We do this. We can do this. But yeah, maybe there's, I feel him a bit insecure, a bit insecure. Maybe he's like, I would prefer for me to go to work and not you. But for her, she's like, no, I got this. Let me do this. I want to do this. She's very honest. She's very honest with him. She's like very transparent with him. She's like, I got this. Let me guide you. Let me be, the breadwinner today. Let me do this. I got this. I can do this. Okay. I'm going to read for Exid, Hani, and Yang Je Woong. Exid, Hani, and Yang Je Woong. Exid, Hani, and Yang Je Woong. Oh. I was going to put one more. He's more in love with her than she is with him. Definitely, I can see it. Okay, from Exit, Hani, 8 of Cups and 4 of Cups. Did they break up at some point and then came back together? From his part, we have the Knight of Cups and the 9 of Wands. He's so invested in her. He's like, what do you want of me? I will give it to you. I'm yours. And then for the connection, we have the card of contemplation. I don't know if they're married already, but yeah, with the card of contemplation, it's giving me like a pause. Like things are sensitive at the moment. And also, the keyword contemplation, and we have the 4 of Cups from her part. So the contemplation definitely comes from her. I think that maybe something happened between them, because there's a lot of emotions. In here, when I said, like, I see him more emotionally invested or more active and open emotionally and romantically to her than she, because I think that something happened, because we have the 8 of Cups from her part. So definitely, this 8 of Cups, this sort of like, I'm walking away, or emotionally, I'm not that invested anymore. I'm somehow like, accepting certain things about you, and I'm still like, I'm not that emotionally attached like I used to. Maybe something happened. Maybe she was disappointed in him. Something, or maybe her feelings are changing with time about him. And I think that with the 4 of Cups, there's this feeling of like, should I stay or should I go? Something like this, like. I don't know. I think that she's like receiving, because he's doing a lot to win her over. He's been very like very generous with her, very romantic, just being very expressive, like a whole gentleman. Probably buy her expensive gifts as well, and be like, all of this that I have is yours. I love you. But there's doubts in her. I think that there's something about her that she's like, I don't feel the same anymore. Like, are they engaged or something? Are they married already? Because I see like emotional distance from her. So it's like she's like me, like I don't feel the same. So definitely I see him doing the extra work to win her over. But yeah, probably they need. I wouldn't advise this couple yet to make an important decision together, or to just decide abruptly, okay, what do you want to do, because these are sensitive times. These are sensitive. The good thing is that both of them are emotional. So there's an emotional connection, usually for certain, celebrity couples, I do feel a sort of distance, like, yeah, this is like a business kind of thing. It feels very formal, or it feels very, like detached, like we're cool, we're together, but no butterflies nor anything. In this case, I do feel a lot of feelings, sensitivity, a lot of probably intuition between the two of them. I don't know if the man is a water sign himself, but it feels like there's a lot of emotions in here. It's just that something has changed from her part, and this is why probably he is a bit like he has to do a lot to win her over, and I think that he will. I mean, he's 100% you know, invested in her. He has his eyes on her. I think that he's she's going to be the woman for me. I'm not seeing someone else. She is the person for me. I'm not, I'm not you know, losing my objective. She is the one that I want. And he's in love probably. And for her, she's detached. She's emotionally, her feelings are changing. She doesn't feel the same anymore. Maybe she doesn't feel the initial attraction or the romanticism that she used to feel. But I wonder what happened. I don't see betrayal nor anything, but something happened that she changed. And that now, maybe she was very secure about that she wanted him. And now she's contemplating. I don't know. Hello. Welcome. Hey, Crystal. Sorry that it took me a while to recognize. It's just that with these tiny letters and this one, I cannot see a thing. Sorry. I cannot see a thing. I need a pair of glasses, I know, but I still will manage without them. I will try to hold a bit longer. Yeah, there's no one actually here. I feel that it's you and other people, but yeah, it's not that crowded today. Okay, I'm going to continue with Red Velvet Joy and Crash. Let's see. Red Velvet Joy and Crash. Let's see these two. Mm-hmm. What is going on with Joy? Because I know that Joy is actually a very calm person. I don't know her, of course. I don't claim I know this woman, but based on her placement, she's a Virgo with the sun, she's a Virgo sun with the moon in Taurus. So seeing these ones from her, the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, why is she fighting him? Why is she so furious with him, so angry at him, a bit like pushing him over, pushing him around, maybe this is needed for him to get things done in this connection. Maybe he needs an ultimatum or something like this. She must have her reasons. And we have the 6 of Pentacles and the Strength card from him, from his part. And then we have the card of the young bride. So is this bride, the young bride? See that, do I smell in here? Do I smell a bride to be here? Because she's pushing things. She's opposing things. She's speaking up. She's starting arguments. She's like opposing in certain things, being like, I don't want this, or like, I want this but not this, and oh no, this is not how we're going to do things. So probably, yeah, it feels like these are moments where she is like opposing him. She's like, having confrontations with him, because I think that there's something about her maybe running out of patience. There's something about her energy feeling very combative, which is, for me, is unusual to feel it in her. But maybe, there's something about her, just, not agreeing with the way he has been doing things. She has her, her disagreements with him, and it's getting to a point where it's unbearable, I guess. And she's bringing this conflict to light, or she's like expressing all of this anger and frustration. It could be, because she's not getting what she wants, and I think that that's valid. If he is her partner, uh, um, and from his part, yeah, the Six of Pentacles and the Strength card. I think that from his part, yeah, he looks a bit like he has everything under control. He has all his emotions under control. With the Six of Pentacles, is like, well, we will get to an agreement. I guess, I will do what you say. I will give you my part. I will keep my promise, or I will keep my word. I will do this if you want this. And with the Strength card is him. She's probably like also pushing him so he can speak up, maybe, about like, okay, what do you want? What do you want us to do? Like, do you see a future for us, or something like this? Like just spill it, say it, talk about this. And he's like this, this with the Strength card, he's like breathing and just, using a lot of self-control and trying not to get upset himself, and also, being patient with her, and just looking at her, maybe losing control, and be like, well, I will give you time so you can calm down. But he's just, he's there. He's like, I'm giving you what I can with what I have available. I think I consider myself that I am, that I'm a fair person in this connection, that, I never lied to you, that I'm giving you what I can right now. So yeah, I don't know. I think that, something good can come up of this, with the young bride, something, an engagement, something can come up of this, because I feel it like maybe this is the next step. This is something that they have to do. They want to, but they are not, meeting eye to eye. I think that there's something about her being like, I waited, or you told me to wait, and I did wait, and then nothing happened. Or I think that she also wants more excitement in her life, in her love life, I guess. And he's just very unreachable. He's just chilling, he's just there. And he's like, well, I'm doing my best. And he's just in there, not moving. And I kind of understand where she would get upset. She's like looking to, somehow, get him to express more, maybe, like, do more for me, like speak up for me, like show me more, like do more things for me, like get out of the comfort zone, like impress me. She wants to be impressed, but yeah, he's stuck in his ways, and I believe he knows her, and he's like, I will wait for you to get over this. But well, maybe he will, pop up the question, but it's going to be very like, yeah, like it's something that I have to do. I have to check it out of my list, I guess. And the last one that I have for today is the actor Lee Wan-so. And I believe this is another actress, that is Lee Sun-bin. They are dating, I guess, I believe. They are not married yet. Lee Wan-so and Lee Sun-bin. She seems sweetie. Did I write down the timestamps? No. Um, okay. Oh, yes. Could it be that they had been dating for a very long time? Because we have the kind of long-term commitment. Long-term commitment. So it's like, there's no titles for this. There's no rules for this. There's no need for rules because we are like this. We are already acting like this, this, not all, I don't want to say like old couple, but it's giving like, people that have been dating and it feels like forever. Like you've always been there. You've always been together. We don't know from where you started, but it seems like you are always stuck together. And this is the feeling, that this is one long-term commitment. But definitely commitment there is. There is a commitment. From his part, from the part of Lee Kwang Soo, we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Four of Pentacles. And from her part, we have, from the part of Lee Sunbin, we have the Hierophant and we have the Devil. So what is it about these women with the Hierophant? It's giving me like, I want commitment, but I don't want it like this. Or maybe there's something about some wanting to get married and something like, I don't want to get married. Or at least not like this. I just want you to know, I just want us to be official and that's it. Like, I kind of don't need to get married. But I need to have like somehow evidence that you are mine. But not, I don't need like a paper, I guess. They're both very stubborn. This is the feeling that I'm getting, because from his part, I have the Four of Pentacles, and from her part, I have the Devil. So both of them are very stuck in their ways. Both of them are very stuck in different vibes, but they give me like they are going to be stuck forever and forever. With long-term commitments also. Like it's giving me like attachment, but attachment all the way, like you are staying with me until the end of time. Something like this. I'm not changing my mind. You are my person. And that's it. And that's it. Yeah, from his part, he's also very possessive of her. He's like, she is the one. He's also very vocal about this. If you ask him, he's very opinionated, he's very straightforward, and he has it all clear, and I love this in a man, honestly, that he has it clear that it's her. It's just that, also with the Four of Pentacles, it's giving me that maybe he's okay with the way the relationship is today. He's like, why would we need to get married if we are okay like this? We have been like this long-term commitment, we have been like this for a while and it has worked. So I kind of don't want any surprises, nor changes, nor, I don't want a change. I don't want to let go of this that we have, because what if we change or what if we advance and then we realize that this is not what we wanted? So I prefer to hold on very tight to this that we have today and just, enjoy it and just appreciate it and hold on very tight to this. And I don't want this to be ruined. So maybe there's something about him, not proposing to her because he's like, I don't want to lose this that we have. I want things to stay like this. I don't want more. This is my stability. This is my now, and I'm okay. It kind of seems like it is like this because actually they are very committed to each other. So yeah, it's like there's no need for more. But yeah, from her part, yeah, the Hierophant and the Devil. So from her part, yeah, I think that there's something just a bit Toxic, I would say about commitment, about marriage. So I wonder if she had like a sort of traumatic experience with a religion or with an institution, with faith, that she's like, I don't want to walk down the aisle. No, like she's very committed to him. I think that she's also very possessive of him. She's like, you are my man. You are not leaving me. She's like, this card is literally like, like Taurus and Capricorn together. So a lot of fixation, a lot of like, you are my man. You are not leaving me. I'm not letting you leave me. So she's like, you are mine. So she has like a very like, I don't want to say toxic, but she has a hold on him. She's like, you are my slave, like you are mine, and I'm not letting you go ever. But yeah, she's very dominating. She's like strong. She's a strong woman. She's like very stubborn. She's like my way. I want things to go my way, and he probably is like, I love it here, kind of love it. I love it here, but I don't want. Maybe they have a lot of fun just being like this, and he's like, I don't want this to change. I don't want our dynamic to change. So probably she's like, she's. Um, I think that she has enough power in the connection that I don't think that she needs to formalize anything. But also she has something with commitment maybe, or with of making it official, or maybe she doesn't believe in marriage, or she has certain not so happy perceptions, or a view of the institution of marriage, or something happened with an institution that she's like, I don't do that. I don't do that. I like I think that she refuses to give her power to an institution. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like she refuses. It's like, I am the powerful one. I don't need others to validate that our relationship is a strong, or that our relationship is real. She's like, I am the authority. I don't need a church or someone or some guy. I think that she has conflicts with religion, but yeah, they are forever committed to each other. So yes, they're happy like this. They're happy like this. Your mind. I don't know anyone like that. She's strong. She's like, I have you. You're not going anywhere. She's like, you're not going anywhere. You're never going to leave me. But both of them are possessive. Both of them. Both of them. Just as she never is. So we have to follow them. I don't know these people. I believe he's a comedian, Lee Wan Soo, and Lee Sunbin is her name. We have to follow their content. I want to see them together. I want to see if they have what is their, I don't know if we have things, because I don't know if she's a celebrity or what, but then there was a girl that she's about to get married to someone that is not. She's an actress. She's about to get married to a boyfriend of hers that is not a celebrity. But what is funny about her is that she went on a show, because I believe she was part, either it was Running Man or it was another kind of these variety shows. She was part of the cast in that, and they went to I believe it was a tarot reader, um, and the woman told her that there was something about her finding love or finding marriage or being married or having children. She said something about her getting pregnant, which when I saw that clip, I was like, that's BS, because she saw the page of cups and she was like, that's the pregnancy card, the page of cups. That's like a baby. I don't know if I see it. I mean, it's a water card, so it could be, but I would say the ace of cups, more like pregnancy. But then she changed it to marriage. Like this year was going to be the year where she's going to get like a proposal in love, and she does, like she's getting married. Um, so I'm going to look for her name because I don't. Well, she was in this K drama with Nino. With I don't remember her name. No, Limino. I put Limino. No, it's Nino from Shiny. Uh, was it a movie or was it a drama? What was it? Let's see. It was Life is Fabulous. Um, where is she? Oh my God. I don't find her. I cannot remember. Do you remember, Crystal? I don't remember her name right now, and I don't remember where I seen her. Was it in the K drama Celebrity? She's also a singer. Um, let's see. Is it Park Jin Joo? Oh my God. Park Jin Joo. Let's see if it's her. Park Jin. Yeah, it's her. Park Jin Joo. Oh, took me forever to find her. Because I'm happy for her and I want to see, I feel, did she get married already? I know she's very beloved. And her a non-celebrity partner. Okay, I want to read for her. Park Jin Joo. Park Jin Joo and her partner. Ah, nourishment. Nourishment. Okay, from her part, we have the King of Cups and we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Swords, sorry. And from his part, we have the Fool and we have the Two of Wands. And we have the card of nourishment. So definitely this marriage is going to be very, like, very abundant. Like, it's going to bring a lot of good things besides good fortune. It's going to bring a lot of good things, a lot of growth, a lot of nourishment to them as people, together. They're going to have a very loving connection. I think that she's a Capricorn, and I'm like, what is it with this Capricorn artist that they have these limited beliefs that they are not loved, that their partner doesn't love them, or that they are not worthy of love, of a romantic love. Like, oh my God, like he cannot be this sweet. I'm sure it's just a phase, that he's going to stop loving me or stop being this, this sweet to me. I wonder where does this come from, because definitely I think that I don't know the person because he's a non-celebrity, of course. But there's something about her being like, he cannot be like this forever. Like somehow I'm going to be distrustful if he's always like so gentle and so, sweet. And I think that probably, this could be, yes, a limited belief of hers, but probably it could be that she has an issue with men in her life, especially with vulnerable men. There's something about her, maybe in the past, maybe she dated or she met men that, yeah, they were very masculine, very bossy, very much, their own selves and just, very popular and charming and everything, but they weren't very sweet. They wouldn't like nourish her emotionally. This is why we have the card of nourishment, because somehow this man, it seems like this man is somehow, helping her remove this mentality that men are cold, that men are not, supposed to be this lovey-dovey with you, that, if they act romantic, it's because they want something out of you. And this is just like the honeymoon phase. And then he's going to get over this and he's going to show you his true self. I think that she has a sort of like a prejudice against, very romantic, loving men. And she has to heal this because, she probably is someone that she needs this kind of man. She needs this kind of love, this kind of love expression, lovely nourishment. It seems like I want to say this, but I don't want people to take it like literally. But I think that this woman was starving for love. She really needed love, a true love, good love, someone that could nourish her emotional needs. This is why we have the card of nourishment. This is much more than, being like, oh, I want a successful husband and I want our marriage to be, it's okay to think about long-term goals and it's okay to think about money and, if he's stable at his job or not, but I think that there's something about her maybe in the past, probably she also had, this could be the memory of an ex also, someone that maybe somehow they kind of, hurt a bit, her perception of her deserving a lovely partner or a loving husband or a lovely partner. There's something about her maybe being emotional herself and somehow being told like, no, you're just dreaming a lot. Men like that don't exist. They just act like this because, they want something out of you, and then they fall out of love. But no, no, I think that she found her man, she found her person. She just has to open up, and get out of this insecurity of her feeling like she's not worthy of this kind of love, of this kind of Romeo. I think that and definitely, from this part, this men's part, this non-celebrity person, we have the full and we have the two of ones. So for him, it's like, definitely he's starting over. For him, this was like a leap of faith, like, okay, I'm doing this, we're getting married. And if they had been together for a while, maybe they went through certain challenges, and for him, this is like, I'm taking a leap of faith. This is like me starting from zero in this connection, and I'm planning to do whatever it takes to make her happy. He has a lot of plans. He has a lot of things that he wants to build with her. He's thinking about their future. And he probably is also making the adjustments or changing a lot about his lifestyle, maybe his former lifestyle, or how he used to do things. He's like, no, I'm a new man. Now that I'm married, or now that we are getting married, I'm a new person. I'm doing things from another perspective. I'm planning differently. I'm planning for a future. So yeah, this is good what he's doing. He's somehow also maturing. It's about him being like, well, I'm not a bachelor anymore, or I'm not that person. So I'm changing, and I'm adapting to invest in our future. And I see him being a planner. Probably him being the one that has the ideas of like, okay, we're going to do this, or we're going to travel here, or we're going to move here, or he's the one that somehow moves things around. Because I think that she's still at awe. She's still like surprised, like, oh my God, like, is this happening to me? Yes, it's happening to you. But yeah, she has to heal. She has to heal a lot her perception of love and relationships. Because yeah, with the kind of nourishments, there's a lot of gifts, a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundance. And I think that they're going to do amazing. They're going to have a great start. So good for her. I love it. Ah, yes. Yeah, they could be. Yes, the fool. It's someone that probably they, before meeting them, they were a bit like aloof, or they were a bit like, they had their face where they would probably do things their way, and they wouldn't be that, that committed to the past. And now that they met the person, they are changing. They are totally different. They are like, yeah, well, my past long gone. Like, I'm doing things differently now. Um, and it's nice. It's healthy. But yeah, if it was associated with another cause, I would be like, there could be a lack of commitment, or maybe someone just being very like in the clouds, just being, just a bit messy in connections, like you really cannot count on them or trust them for something long term, because they're always, they're not that grounded, or they're always fantasizing, or they're always doing their own thing, and they just, they they are like this. Okay, I think I'm done for today. Thank you so much for the message that you sent me on Instagram, Crystal. I noticed that you sent me a message on the DMs about if my account was down. Like, actually, it wasn't down. I had it like, how do you say it? It was deactivated, because I wanted to, somehow like get out a bit of Instagram, just like I was like, okay, what am I doing here? Because I have a mix of a lot of things on my Instagram. Um, and I had people that I really, wasn't resonating with them anymore, but they would still follow me. So it was a weird. But then I had to create another one for the channel, because if people wanted to request a reading, or they wanted to tell me something, I have to have an Instagram account. So I created one. I still have it, but it has like 40 people, 20, no, not 40. I have 20 people in there, I believe. Um, so I'm keeping it that open as well, but I don't know. I'm going to go back and forth between accounts because I don't know about Instagram. Honestly, Instagram and Facebook, they stress me because I don't know what to post. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's because I do upload here on YouTube and I do for TikTok. So I think that is enough for social media for me. Um, but yeah, at the same time, it's an app that is about connection. It's about maybe getting an important message or someone that wants to reach out to me, and I have to have it open just in case. But yeah, I'm still a bit confused about like what do I want to do with Instagram. Is challenging. It's challenging. Yeah, because I was missing a lot of you guys update. I was missing like what you guys post. It's just that um I forgot, like, when I created the new one, I forgot the user of some people, so I didn't know how to look for you, if I wanted to add you. um and and yeah, and because it's like is deactivated. It's like you cannot take it. Like it's on pause. It seems, and I lost my password. I lost my password. I didn't know what the password was, so I blocked it entirely. I didn't know what I did, but the other day I was able to revive it. I don't know, but yes, thank you so much for staying there. And I love your pictures. I have been seeing your posts, and I love them. I love the colors, like everything is so nice. It's so nice. I hope that you're doing amazing. And yeah, um, be prepared because I believe at the beginning of December I'm going to start uploading the 2026 readings for the groups. So probably I'm going to read for a lot of groups to see how they're going to do in 2026, sorry, 2026. So yeah, I'm going to do them for the channel. But yeah, I'm going to go because I have to cook. But thank you so much for joining today, and have a lovely weekend or Sunday. Bye.